So namaste and welcome to vlog 4 in the NoMoreTaboo Nepal vlog. So last time we talked we were in the Chaupaddi region and we talked about the poor access to healthcare out there. So we wanted to explore a bit more what it's like to live as a woman in this remote area in the aftermath of an earthquake. So we took with us a female nurse to act as a translator and went to talk to some of the women living in the area. We'd heard that the practice of Chaupaddi was still going on in this area, and we were really keen to explore some more. So Chaupaddi we'll talk about in a lot more detail in a later vlog, but it's basically the complete isolation of women, and in particular young girls before they're married. During their period, they're treated entirely as an untouchable. They're sent to go and sleep separately from the family in a hut, a menstrual hut, and they're not allowed to touch anyone else. They have to walk on separate paths. So it's a really interesting practice that we want to find out more about. So we met lots of women in the community of all ages, although it's often hard to tell if someone's 30 or 60. We were expecting to hear lots about menstrual taboos, maybe even find a Chaupaddi hut. It said if you don't practice Chaupaddi you can cause an earthquake, so I guess there's quite a few adolescent girls out there feeling a bit guilty right now. So what was interesting here was that our translator, who's a nurse, was incredibly shy to talk to me about menstruation. We talked with several groups of women for half an hour at a time. She was asking them if they feel empowered, how they manage their menstruation and how it affects their lives. And they had some in-depth conversations here. But all she told me was that, oh, they have no restrictions. They feel happy, they're equal to men, they do the same jobs, they carry the same weight in the reconstruction. There's no challenges. I mean, sometimes they feel pain, but it doesn't stop them doing their work. And now this really surprised me because even in the cosmopolitan city of Kathmandu, there are restrictions around menstruation. Women don't enter the kitchen, they won't enter at temples when they're on their period. So how can it be so different in a very rural setting in Chaupaddi? And the more I dug, the quieter our translator became. So it just made me realise, these are very deep-seated taboos. And the women there they'll happily talk about family planning and contraception, and also the fact that most women in the community have prolapsed uterus, but they will not talk about menstruation. It's a complete no-no. Which has just reminded me about the reason I'm here, to find a grassroots organisation who understand the community, who know how to communicate with the women in the community, and so they feel safe to talk about these issues rather than having a foreigner coming and asking them strange questions. Our toilet of the day today is no longer standing, like so many in this area. This plateau used to be a secondary school, which had its own toilet block. It was entirely flattened in the earthquake. Thankfully, it wasn't a school day. So that's it for this week. Tune in for vlog 5 in a couple of days.